Musk and his team of tech wizards, they got like a lead foot on the Doge pedal, and Democrats are losing their freaking minds, calling it a, what are they saying, constitutional crisis. Last week we had USAID, and then this week the list of things that they announced this week is crazy. So what do we got? Musk says he's going to investigate how these public servants have made multi-million-dollar fortunes off their positions. Dr. Ron Paul is going to lead an effort to audit the Federal Reserve.
Is that official? Or is that just like people online are saying, do that?
I think it's official.
I mean, that's got to be like Ron Paul sailing off into the sunset, doing the one thing that he's been dying to do his entire life. What a dream! Wonderful. What a dream come true.
It's wonderful. And then he found that FEMA was spending money to house illegal immigrants in hotels, $50 million to buy condoms, DEI programs funded out of the Department of Education. And then he called what he says is the criminal abuse of the U.S. entitlement programs is going to be the biggest fraud in U.S. history. That's a lot. Other than Ron Paul auditing the Fed, what's your favorite on the list?
My personal favorite was none of the ones you just mentioned. It was actually the Iron Mountain. Did you guys see the Iron Mountain thing?
Yeah.
Oh, the IRS crazy. One?
No, it's
the Iron Mountain, which is no. I mean, it's the mountain where they keep all the records.
Yeah, for pensions and retirees.
Yes, yeah, but it's more so about where they're storing them more than it's about the content of what they're storing. But the Iron Mountain, it's a mountain in Pennsylvania. It's an old mine that not an old mine. It's a current mine that they house. Why is he laughing? Oh, did I freeze? Where they house government records of the retirees. And so apparently, according to what was released, they have to limit the number of federal retirees to roughly 10,000 per month because that is how much paperwork they can actually process to put in this old limestone mine in Pennsylvania called Iron Mountain, which is also the name of the paper company that destroys documents which is just kind of a weird coincidence, I guess. I don't know. But it's interesting. And I didn't realize that we actually just housed all these actual government documents in a old mountain.
It's pretty crazy.
On paper.
On paper.
Old school way.
Paper in manila envelopes.
It's like 700 people work there full time to process like all this paper every single day, and truckloads of paper come every single day. It's the weirdest shit possible.
It is.
Are we surprised?
I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that it's in a mine. Like, that's weird. I wouldn't have guessed that. That's not a limestone. Why are we doing that in a limestone? Why isn't there like an office building in fucking DC somewhere?
Yeah, and why are we putting? I also get why we don't want to digitize everything, but at the same time, because somebody was like, "Well, look, we have no use for floppy disks and CDs anymore, so you digitize stuff, you're not going to be able to access it later." But I think nowadays we're at a point where you can digitize stuff, and we're going to be able to access it for the rest of human existence because we can just put it online or something. And the mode in which we store information isn't changing as rapidly as the way it was, like going from floppy disk to CD to stuff. But to put it in a mine, I'm just kind of dumbfounded by it.
Yeah, it's like the seed vault, but with people's retirement papers. It's weird. What was it? Well, first off, Elon Musk bringing his kid to the Oval Office.
Weird.
I mean, I'm all for bringing your kids places, but there's a time and a place. He's not, you're not doing a campaign rally where that's, put the kid off camera or whatever you need to do. And of course, Ron Paul auditing the Fed is fucking awesome. I can't believe that that's happening. I can't believe that Ron Paul's doing it. I don't believe that Ron Paul's doing it until it actually happens. I think he's probably going to die of a heart attack before that happens, just out of excitement. I mean, 2008, the Revolution, 2012, audit the Fed, all this shit, really got so many people. I mean, without Ron Paul, you wouldn't have Donald Trump, for sure.
Correct.
100%. So that's great. I love that for him, and I hope that he passes away peacefully with a smile on his face when it's done.
Yeah. He's getting up there in age. But
Yeah.
the Trump and Musk, I think they've tapped into popular sentiment. So maybe it's not official that Ron Paul's out in the Fed, but they know that they're going to energize those Ron Paulians from 2008, 2012. At least two of them are on the call, are on the show today, who are going to get excited about this. So that one's my obvious favorite. I'm, of course, interested to see what he's able to dig up on how all these Nancy Pelosi's of the world are making all that money. Maybe that will be in the Epstein files.
That's the one that I don't know that one's going to be as big as people are hoping that it'll be. Right? Because I think he used the explanation of like, these people have 100,000, like 6-figure salaries or whatever, but they're worth several million.
Yep.
I mean, if you're in that job for a long time and you have some like a decent portfolio of investing, like you could be worth several $1 million. Is that right or wrong? I don't know, but it's not like they're getting paid directly from USAID. Maybe they are.
Are they not?
Maybe they are. I don't know. But I think what good would come from it is maybe people will start to wake up more to the insider trading that happens in Congress.
I hear you, but there are some outlier cases that it's like, wait, you're worth what? Hundreds of millions of dollars, and
hundreds of millions. A bureaucrat other than Anthony Fauci?
Nancy Pelosi.
Well, she's not a career bureaucrat. She's an elected representative.
But she makes $150,000-$200,000. So how does she have hundreds of millions?
I thought he was going after just the bureaucrats, not the elected.
No, I think it's more focused on the elected officials because it's Congress members that are doing the trading and making millions and millions of dollars while only making $200,000 a year. So I think go
ahead.
No, I was going to say, so I think he's talking about more elected officials than bureaucrats, but probably including bureaucrats in that too.
Well, my portfolio mirrors Nancy Pelosi, so I would appreciate it if you would back off just for a little while.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to get super excited about Doge, but everything they do it's been pretty good so far. And didn't they report just a couple days ago that the Clinton Foundation had received a big old chunk of money from USAID? I think we're going to find stuff like that. I think that they're going to find stuff like direct payments to Nancy Pelosi's foundation or whatever, if they really dig in. I think the level of corruption that exists in our federal government is immense. And if they're serious about looking at it, we're going to find some crazy stuff.
I don't disagree that the level of corruption exists, but I don't think we're going to find it. Like, I think I don't want to give them too much credit because they're not that smart, but I think they're smarter. Like, I think it goes from shell company to shell company to shell company, like, and you get to it at some point, and like maybe these 19-year-olds are going to sniff it out. I don't know, but I don't disagree there. I think they're just better at hiding it.
Charles, are you one of those people online that's mad that 19, 20, 21-year-olds are destroying the bureaucracy? Like, you're mad about their age?
No, but I just think that at 19, like, you don't have as much experience snuffing this stuff out as, say, like a 30-year-old who also does this stuff. So, like, I think with age comes experience. So I have no problem with them doing it. Do I think they're going to be able to track it back the way to be able to expose it in the way that we all would hope? I don't think so. Yeah,
it's the 30-year-olds that I look to for wisdom. That's true.
I'm not saying. All I'm saying is with age comes experience.
And 30 is a great number. That's what we all look for that's the age for wisdom. 30.
I don't know. I'm a little more optimistic about this. I think we're gonna get some people.
Oh, well, I'm optimistic.
We haven't discovered anything yet. Like anything like straight up like what you're talking about. Like, we've discovered other things, yes, the payments to Politico and stuff like that. But like to the point where like they're exposing these government bureaucrats or government elected officials, they haven't given me anything yet.
Here's the thing though, everything's going so fast that like we didn't even have time to sit and absorb. We talked about it last week, but we didn't have time to sit and absorb what the implications of USAID giving a ton of money to Politico and the New York Times is. What is that? That's an operation. It's not just like, we like what you're doing, so here's some money. It's an operation. intended for a specific purpose. And because we're moving so fast that we don't really get that understanding of what exactly is going on. That's my concern. They're going to be like this, find these grants to these organizations, and we're not going to dig into who that's going to, because we're going to be moving on to the next thing so quickly. Mm-hmm. But like the Politico thing, like I said last week, it's Operation Mockingbird. They're doing it to influence what the media reports on and what they don't. And we've moved on from USAID.
That's not even how birds fly, but okay.
How does your bird fly? The wings didn't even move.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, you guys, enough on Doge for now?
For now. We'll have more next week, I'm sure.
Real quick, though, has it exceeded your expectations, or has it because when we first talked about Doge, when it was conceptual, we were both I remember us all being like, yeah, they're probably not going to do anything. So has it exceeded expectations so far?
Not exceeded.
Yeah.
Met.
It's knocking on the door.
I think it's definitely exceeded expectations. I don't think anybody expected the USAID, just as an example, to like blow the lid off of a new age project Mockingbird, where the government is literally paying the news organizations to, presumably to report negatively on those that question the regime, right? That's not something that anybody expected. And a lot of people have talked about that. Like, Michael, I know it's moving really fast, but people are absorbing this. All of the fucking AIDS money that's going out the door, all of the money.
USAID just cut Brad off.
They probably did. I would say it's knocked on the door of expectations for me. We all knew this stuff existed. In what form, we didn't know, and we're now finding things out. But I haven't seen anything so far that's like knocked my eyebrows off, right? Like it's crazy, it's nuts, yes, but like we know this exists. Like, this is why we are critics of government. This is why we are on the side of the political spectrum we are, because we know this stuff exists, and we root it out. We've seen things like this on the local level, the state level. Like, we've all worked on different things, maybe not to this degree, but we know this stuff exists. And so it hasn't knocked my eyebrows off, but it's certainly it's knocked on the door of expectations, and I expect it to exceed at some point.
I think the level of specificity is taking it to a different level. Yes, we argue that there's a ton of waste, fraud, and abuse in government, but to get specifics like we're getting right now, I think it's pretty shocking. And I think they've just started. So
I think
whether Congress will do anything about it or not, I don't know. Will they stop allocating $50 million for condoms in some random country? I don't know. But $50 million for condoms, that's a shitload of condoms.
They need that many. They need to allocate that to Harris County. That's for sure.
I wonder what that breaks down. Because they didn't tell us how many individual condoms. I'm curious what that cost per condom is.
I think I read somewhere they were doing like a nickel per condom or something like that.
Oh, that's cheap.
They're getting bulk pricing. They got like the Costco. They're going to Costco to get condoms. No. Okay, it's not funny.
No, I'm trying to think if that's. Yeah. Well,
where are you getting a nickel condom at? Like, let's be serious. Where are you getting anything for a nickel anymore?
Probably some neighborhood that's extremely dense and like lacking single family homes.
No, because the machines in those bathrooms still charge you $0.25.
The machines in the bathrooms? You're helping my argument.